nightly business report.
Good evening. Tonight, the IMF has praised Sri Lanka's economic recovery and noted noteworthy advancements made possible by its extended fund facility program. However, it urged the country to maintain fiscal discipline and improve tax compliance. By 2030, the Sri Lankan government wants to generate 70% of its electricity from renewable sources. The construction of a 100-megawatt solar power plant at Siembalandua is a significant step in that direction. Following yesterday's negative momentum, the Colombo Stock Exchange closed lower on the second trading day of the week, with notable declines in the S&P SL20 and all-share price index. And following the announcement by President Donald Trump that 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico would begin, Wall Street's major market indices closed precipitously down.
From Studio 24, here's Anuradhi Vikramasinghe.
A very good evening and thank you for joining us. The IMF has commended Sri Lanka's economic recovery, highlighting significant progress under its extended fund facility program. However, it urged the country to maintain fiscal discipline, improve tax compliance and ensure a budget aligned with IMF guidelines to sustain growth and stability.
The International Monetary Fund's Senior Mission Chief for Sri Lanka, Peter Brewer, praised Sri Lanka's remarkable recovery following a deep financial crisis, noting that Sri Lanka has regained 40% of the income lost during their previous years. The IMF highlighted that the country's reserve have reached nearly half of the target set under the Extended Fund Facility Program. Despite this progress, Brewer emphasized the importance of passing a national budget aligned with IMF parameters to continue $2.9 billion program. He also stressed the need for Sri Lanka to improve tax compliance, enhance social welfare targeting, and focus on capital spending to manage public finances effectively. Additionally, Brewer underscored the importance of restoring cost recovery electricity pricing to stabilize the country's power monopoly. Sri Lanka is also urged to finalize bilateral agreements with key creditors like Japan, India, China after securing a preliminary $10 billion budget debt restructuring agreement. As the economy grows, Brewer noted that increasing economic opportunities could reduce poverty and make it more attractive for people to remain in Sri Lanka.
Fuel distributors have agreed to comply with the new commission formula introduced by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation. According to Cabinet spokesman Nalinda Jayatissa, this agreement was confirmed during a meeting between the CPC and distributors. Further discussions are scheduled for the 18th of March to finalize details. Jayatissa assured the public that there is no risk of a fuel shortage in the country. He emphasized that the government's measures are in place to ensure continuous fuel supply. The new commission formula is expected to address concerns and improve the distribution process. The CPC also intends to monitor the implementation of the new formula closely. This agreement marks a positive step towards stabilizing fuel distribution in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan government aims to meet 70% of its electricity demand with renewable energy by 2030, with a major step forward being the development of a 100-megawatt solar power plant at Siembalandua. The Sri Lankan government is moving forward with its ambitious goal of meeting 70% of its electricity demand through renewable energy by 2030. A key component of this plan is the development of a 100-megawatt solar power plant at Siembalandua. The Cabinet has approved the allocation of 219.7233 hectares of land to the Ceylon Electricity Board for the project. This allocation is designed to ensure that agricultural activities in the area will not be disrupted. The solar power plant is expected to play a significant role in reducing the country's dependence on fossil fuels. By investing in renewable energy, the government aims to foster a more sustainable and environmentally friendly energy sector. The project aligns with global efforts to combat climate change while addressing local energy demands. The development of the Siembalandua solar plant marks a major step in Sri Lanka's commitment to renewable energy growth. Sri Lanka's tourism sector continued its strong performance in February with 240,217 international arrivals, the second highest for the month since 2019. The highest February arrivals were recorded in 2019 at 252,039 visitors, while 2018 ranks third with 236,618. February 2025 saw a 10.2% year-on-year increase, though it marked a 5% decline compared to January of this year. year. India remained the leading source market, contributing 14.9% of total arrivals, followed by Russia and the United Kingdom. In total, Sri Lanka welcomed 492,978 visitors in the first 2 months of this year, reflecting a 15.5% increase from the same period in 2023. With a target of 3 million visitors in 2025, Sri Lanka has already reached 16% of this goal. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the development of 24 oil tanks at the Trincomalee Upper Tank Farm. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation will manage the 3-year project to complete the development.
The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the development of 24 oil tanks at the Trincomalee Upper Tank Farm. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation will oversee this 3-year project, which aims to complete the development of the tanks within the specified timeline. Cabinet spokesperson Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa stated that the project will include a feasibility study and the necessary work required for its completion. Approvals from key stakeholders including the Road Development Authority, Sri Lankan Railways and the Marine Environmental Protection Authority have already been secured. The project will be funded by CPC, ensuring that there is no burden on the General Treasury. The proposal for the development was submitted by Minister of Energy and received cabinet approval. The new oil tanks are expected to strengthen the country's oil storage capacity and enhance energy security. This project marks a significant step in Sri Lanka's efforts to improve its infrastructure in the energy sector.
Let's take a short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. On the second day of the trading week, the Colombo Stock Exchange closed lower, continuing the negative momentum from yesterday. Both the All Share Price Index and S&P SL20 indices saw significant declines, reflecting cautious investor sentiment. For further insights on this, we speak with Akna Tennakon from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Anuradhi. So the selling and profit-taking sentiment that we saw yesterday prevailed across today's session. The SPI dwindled sharply during the early hours but made a slight recovery around midday. Still, the index was gripped by intense volatility and once again inched downwards as the session progressed. The SPI ended the day in the red at 15,870, registering a dip of about 270 points. The banking sector exerted intense negative pressure on the SPI, with DFCC, HNB, Sampath and commercial banks emerging among the top negative contributors alongside Sri Lanka Holdings. Positive contributors were minor in number and intensity, with Malwatta Valley Plantation and Hella Apparel emerging as the only noteworthy positive contributors. In terms of turnover, the turnover saw a recovery, rising to 2.4 billion rupees from 1.5 billion rupees in the previous day. In terms of contribution to turnover, the banking sector took the lead with a contribution of 41%. This was followed by the capital goods and food, beverage and tobacco sectors, which produced a joint contribution of 29%. Thank you.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka started publishing monthly external sector statistics in January of this year, showing a higher surplus compared to the previous year. Key highlights include increased tourism earnings, growth in workers' remittances, and net inflows in government securities investments. For further insights, we speak with Manusha Kandanarachi from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Anuradhi. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka published the monthly external sector performance for January 2025. Accordingly, the current account recorded a higher surplus in January 2025 and stood at $130 million compared to January 2024, driven by improved surpluses in both services and secondary income accounts despite a wider trade deficit. While import expenditure grew faster than export earnings, increasing the merchandise trade deficit and stood at $732 million, as well as the terms of trade improved. Export prices rose faster than import prices compared to the previous year as well. Tourism earnings surged to an estimated $401 million, with arrivals reaching the highest ever recorded for January. workers' remittances also continue to grow year-on-year basis as well. Provisional data showed 25,536 departures for foreign employment in January 2025. Foreign investment in government securities saw net inflows, while investments in the Colombo Stock Exchange recorded net outflows. Sri Lanka's gross official reserves remain strong at $6.1 billion by the end of January, which includes a swap facility with People's Bank of China. After a depreciation in January, the Sri Lankan rupee appreciated in February 2025 as well.
Gold prices remain largely unchanged in Asian trading today, supported by safe haven demand following the implementation of US President Donald Trump's tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Spot gold held steady at $2,892.98 per ounce, while gold futures for April gained 0.1%, reaching $2,903.87 per ounce. On Tuesday, President Trump's administration imposed 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada, aiming to address concerns over illegal immigration and drug trafficking. Additionally, Trump signed an order on Monday to increase levies on Chinese goods up to 20%, up from 10%. Market participants are closely monitoring the potential impact of these trade actions on global economic stability. Oil prices extended losses today following reports that OPEC Plus will proceed with a planned output increase in April. Markets are also bracing for the impact of US tariffs on Canada, Mexico and China, alongside Beijing's retaliatory tariffs. Brent futures dropped 1.26%, settling at $70.72 per barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude fell 1.16% to $67.58 per barrel. US tariffs of 25% on imports from Canada and Mexico took effect today, including 10% tariffs on Canadian energy. Additionally, tariffs on Chinese imports increased from 10% to 20%, and analysts predict that these tariffs will negatively affect economic activity and fuel demand, exerting downward pressure on oil prices. As global trade tensions escalate, the market remains highly sensitive to further developments. The Sri Lankan rupee remained steady against the US dollar at commercial banks today, showing no change from yesterday. According to the commercial bank, both the buying and selling rates of the US dollar have remained unchanged. Let's take a closer look at how the Sri Lankan rupee is performing against other major global currencies. Short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back. SLT Mobitel has launched Hello AI, the first of its kind innovative AI-centric mobile package specifically designed to place artificial intelligence and educational platforms within reach of Sri Lankan youth.
SLT Mobitel has launched the pioneering Hello AI package, offering affordable access to AI learning tools and educational platforms for Sri Lankan youth. Priced at just 799 rupees, the package provides 40 GB of data, including 20 GB anytime and 20 GB nighttime, along with an additional 10 GB dedicated to accessing platforms like ChatGPT, Coursera, Udemy and Canva. The initiative aims to empower students and young professionals by giving them the resources to thrive in today's digital-driven world. Deputy Minister of Digital Economy, Ranga Weeraratne, highlighted that this aligns with the government's vision for digital transformation and AI adoption. Dr. Motilal De Silva, chairman of the SLT Mobitel, emphasized that the Hello AI package represents a shift from traditional telecommunications to fostering digital innovation. This package is designed to support development of a digitally skilled workforce, crucial for Sri Lanka's future economic growth. With Hello AI, SLT Mobitel is providing young Sri Lankans aged 16 to 25 the tools to succeed in an AI-driven future.
Sri Lankan Airlines will introduce wireless in-flight entertainment on select narrow-body A320 aircraft, allowing passengers to stream content on their own devices. This new technology offers passengers on short-haul flights enhanced personalization and convenience with access to movies, music and more. Maria Sathivasam, the Manager of Product Development, highlighted the airline's commitment to innovation and customer experience, noting that wireless entertainment is becoming a game-changer in the industry. Passengers can use smartphones, tablets or laptops to stream on-demand content through the airline's Wi-Fi network, Sky Plus, without need for seat-back screens. The entertainment system, powered by EverHub, provides a curated library of movies, TV shows and over 100 audio albums in various genres and languages. This move further elevates in-flight experience for Sri Lankan Airlines passengers, making entertainment more accessible than ever. NDB Bank has launched NDB Pixel, a unique digital banking solution designed for Sri Lankan teenagers aged 13 to 18, offering them a modern and secure way to manage their finances.
NDB Bank has launched NDB Pixel, a digital banking solution tailored for Sri Lankan teenagers aged 13 to 18, promoting secure and convenient financial management. This initiative aligns with Sri Lanka's digital transformation goals and supports the nation's move towards a cashless society. Through the NDB Neos app, teens gain real-time access to their finances, encouraging financial autonomy and responsibility. The solution includes a personalized debit card for cashless transactions and features that allow parents to monitor account balances and receive SMS alerts. The NDB Pixel account goes beyond traditional savings accounts by offering transactional capabilities and a daily transaction limit of 20,000 rupees adjustable with parental consent. Damita Silva, Assistant Vice President at NDB Bank, emphasized the importance of empowering youth with the tools to manage their finances securely. With this launch, NDB Bank aims to contribute to financial literacy, inclusivity and a cashless economy in Sri Lanka.
Finance Limited has partnered with David Pierce Renewable Energy to offer specialized green loans aimed at financing renewable energy solutions, particularly solar energy systems. This collaboration marks a significant step in supporting Sri Lanka's energy transition goals by providing sustainable financing options to both individuals and businesses. This initiative is in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 7, SDG 13 and SDG 9. Asset Line Finance's Green Finance Scheme will empower customers to adopt renewable energy solutions while promoting environmental responsibility. The partnership will provide a variety of affordable financing options, making solar power more accessible to Sri Lankans. By offering tailored financing through the exclusive Green Loan Program, Asset Line Finance and DPRE are helping customers reduce their carbon footprints and contribute to a greener future. Ceylon Agro-industry, part of the Prima Group, has partnered with Celeste, one of Sri Lanka's largest online supermarkets, to expand its delivery network and enhance the online grocery shopping experience for households.
Ceylon Agro-industry, part of the Prima Group, has partnered with Celeste, Sri Lanka's largest online supermarket, to expand its delivery network. Through this collaboration, customers can access Prima's popular products, including Prima Kuttumi, Korean ramen and Prima Flour on Celeste platform. The partnership ensures 24/7 availability of these products with quick doorstep delivery within 30 minutes through platforms like Uber Eats and Pick Me Mart. Sajid Gunaratna, General Manager of Ceylon Agro-industries, expressed excitement about the partnership, emphasizing its goal to make Prima's products more accessible to customers. Celeste founder and Managing Director Janik Jayasuriya highlighted that the partnership aligns with their mission to offer unparalleled convenience. This collaboration aims to meet growing demand for convenience and reliability in Sri Lanka's expanding e-commerce sector. The partnership reflects both brands' commitment to enhancing the online shopping experience for Sri Lankan households.
Sampath Bank was honoured as the runner-up in the banking category at the ACCA Sri Lanka Sustainability Reporting Awards 2024. This recognition highlights the bank's strong commitment to transparency, accountability and sustainable business practices. The awards ceremony, organised by the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants Sri Lanka, took place at the Cinnamon Grand, Colombo. Since its inception in 2004, the ACCA Sri Lanka Sustainability Reporting Awards has acknowledged organizations that effectively disclose environmental, social and government information. Sampath Bank's achievement reflects its dedication to high reporting standards and aligning corporate strategy with sustainability. Managing Director Ayodhya Idawela Pereira expressed the bank's ongoing commitment to balancing financial performance with environmental and social responsibilities. Let's take a short commercial break now. Global business updates coming on the other side. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Asian stocks fell today, mirroring a sharp slump on Wall Street after US President Donald Trump confirmed that 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada would take effect later in the day and signed an order to increase levies on Chinese goods. Major US stock indexes ended sharply lower following Trump's announcement. Japan's Nikkei 225 index saw a decline of 1.9%, while Topix dropped 1.3%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng index fell by 1.4%, reversing its previous session's rebound. Indonesia's Jakarta Stock Exchange Composite Index dropped 1.1%, and Singapore's Straits Times Index lost 0.4%. Futures for India's Nifty 50 indicated a lower opening. South Korea's Kospi remained largely unchanged following its return from a holiday. Wall Street's main stock indexes closed sharply lower after President Donald Trump announced the start of 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico. The S&P 500 slipped 1.76%, the Dow dropped nearly 1.5%, and the Nasdaq spiraled almost 2.6%.
U.S. stocks tumbled on Monday after President Trump announced sweeping 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, with the Dow dropping almost 1.5%, the S&P 500 shedding more than 1.75%, and the Nasdaq spiraling more than 2.6%. Trump said the two U.S. neighbors had, quote, no room left to avert the tariffs, raising fears of a North American trade war. Trump is also expected on Tuesday to raise tariffs on Chinese imports to 20% from 10%. U.S.-listed shares of Chinese companies fell, with EV maker NIO losing 8.6% and JD.com shedding 4%. Chip makers also tumbled, with AI powerhouse NVIDIA shedding about 8.7%, Broadcom losing 6%, and Intel erasing early gains to close down more than 4%. Meanwhile, a survey from the Institute for Supply Management on Monday showed U.S. manufacturing slowed in February, and an index of forward-looking new orders contracted, further reflecting tariff concerns.
Honda decided to produce its next-generation Civic hybrid in the U.S. state of Indiana instead of Mexico to avoid potential tariffs on one of its top-selling car models, according to people familiar with the matter.
Sources say Honda has decided to produce its next-generation Civic hybrid in the U.S. state of Indiana. The switch from Mexico is to avoid potential tariffs on one of its top-selling car models, the people familiar with the matter have said. The change underscores how manufacturers are scrambling to adapt to US President Donald Trump's proposed 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada. Several automakers have expressed concerns about the levies, but Honda's reported move would be the first concrete measure by a major Japanese car company. The sources said Honda now plans to build its new Civic model in Indiana from May 2028. With an expected annual production of around 210,000 vehicles. All of those speaking to Reuters requested anonymity, as the information has not been made public. A Honda spokesperson declined to comment on changes to the Civic production plan. Mexico has long been a lower-cost production hub for Japanese and other global automakers. Honda sends around 80% of its Mexican output to the US, the world's second-largest auto market after China. It warned in November that it would have to think about shifting production if the US were to impose permanent tariffs on imported vehicles. Honda's case underscores how potentially disruptive the US tariffs would be for industries that cannot drastically alter production plans in the short term.
But that's all from us here at the Nightly Business Report for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow with the latest updates across the business globe. Till then, I'm Anuradhi Vikramasinghe. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.